All right. We are live with another exciting episode of The Real Deal. Let's get it. All right, happy Saturday morning. It is June 3rd, June already. Can't believe it. June 3rd, 11:30 a.m. I am your host as always, Courtney Harden. You know what time it is. It's time for The Real Deal, episode 119. This is going to be a very, very special one because I got a good friend back on the show. She's one of my favorite people in the podcast business. But yeah, outside of that, outside of podcasting, we've done shows together. We've done fantasy football drafts together, so I'm gonna bring her on in a minute. But I'm glad to be back on Saturday. It's been a minute. I think the last show I did on Saturday was sometime early May. Been on vacation, doing a lot of different things. Take a little break because it's always great to take breaks. So, but I'm glad to be back on a Saturday morning. So, welcome again to The Real Deal with Courtney Harden. I'm your host, Courtney Harden. You can find the show on all podcast platforms. I always say them all: Spotify, Google Play. iHeartRadio, everywhere, Google, Apple, everywhere you can find the podcast. We're on Roku TV, so everyone that's on the Roku channel, BS3 TV app you download that. You get all the shows there, bs3tvlive.com, bs3network.com. We're all over the place, so anytime you just type in The Real Deal with Courtney Harden, you can find it, like I said, on all podcast platforms. Follow me, Courtney Harden. It's very simple: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. At Get the Real Deal on Twitter as well. I think I got it all there. I think that's where we're everywhere. So that's just there: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere else. So again, I'm very excited for this episode because, like I said, I got a friend here. It's not a guest. She's not a guest anymore. She's just like, she knocks on the door. I bring her in. She comes in, puts her feet up on the couch, on the table. And we just chat, we debate, we chat, we just discuss, just good friends, just having a good time. So I'm welcoming to the show my good friend, Nikki G, as I call her, Nikki Gis. She is the Rush Hour host, co-host of the New York Giants, Rush reporter for the Giants. You've seen her out there doing her thing with the Giants and all, not just the Giants, it's all types of coverage there with NFL, NBA. She does the marketing, so we're gonna get into all of that too. So JSN Sporting News. So Nikki, glad to get you back on. Really appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me. Yeah, we're family at this point.
Yeah,
I'm no guest. I come in your fridge, open it up. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how we're doing it.
That's how we do it. This is how we do. Yep. You come to my house, I come to yours.
Yeah.
We just hanging out at a bar, sports bar, a game. Wherever it is, we got each other. So
we haven't watched a game yet together. No, I don't know if we want to do that. Will that ruin the friendship?
I don't think so, but depends where it is, right?
Right.
Depends where it is. So, but we already got shout outs. L. Bushman, thanks for tuning in.
Oh, come on. Evan,
already
it's started. For 30 seconds.
He already started. Shout out to him. Nathan Ramachandran in our hour. He is always supporter. He has his own podcast, and he's also on JSN Sporting News. So shout out to Nathan. But thank you, Nikki, again for coming on to the show. Appreciate it. And let's get right into it. I wanted to talk. We're going to talk some Giants. We're going to talk a lot of different things. We're going to talk some sports, NFC East. That's what we do. Is you're a Giants fan, you cover them. I'm an Eagles fan, cover them. We're going to get into all of that. But I want to talk about Nikki, the marketer, because you do a lot of marketing. I want to get into a little bit of that. So talk a little bit about that and the company you work for and all those things. We'll start there.
Yeah. So people always ask me what I do for a living. They think that I actually podcast for a living, and that would be great. So if any sponsors want to come in and give me a shitload of money, that'd be cool.
Yes, yeah.
I'm sure you hook up Courtney too. Hook up all my friends, hook up Elle Bushman and Niffin, like just give us all a bunch of money.
Yes, come
But
on.
I don't just cover the Giants and podcast for a living. Believe it or not, that was a hobby that started 3 years ago, and it's just kind of taken off from there. But my real job is that I own a marketing company. So they do intersect sometimes. I own a company called Hello Green Marketing, and we specialize in the AEC property management industries for marketing. So those are your architects, engineers, construction companies, vendors within property management. So, you want to think of the people that keep the world like moving along that you just don't think about, right? So that's your maintenance crew, and we need those engineers out there. We need those architects, and
Yeah.
so think of companies like that. So of course we'll work with anyone that's a fit for us. We work with a lot of home builders. We work with solar companies, some sustainability companies. Think about your landscapers and people out there up in for the tree companies. They're up there, chopping down trees and keeping us safe from power line disasters. So it's companies like that we typically work with. However, if it's a fit, we will work with other industries. But since my educational background is in marketing and PR, my work experience was in construction project management. So a couple years ago, just kind of decided, let's just try to get this going and put the two together. So
Yeah.
thankfully, I've had an easier time going off on my own due to a network that I spent over a decade cultivating. I've had some really great people support me. So, kind of getting clients right off the bat maybe was a little bit easier. And I'm very grateful and thankful for that and the support system that I've had around me, because it's scary sometimes to go off on your own, especially being a woman in a very male dominated industry. But like I said, I had spent a long time in this industry. So, as you know, maybe you guys have seen, I am very involved with a lot of organizations, particularly women in construction, is something that's very near and dear to my heart. And, we just want to make sure we give everybody a voice, right, with that organization. And we kind of level the playing field for women in the industry. We have a fantastic scholarship program that we, have every year. Every May, we give out 5 scholarships to girls who are, in an engineering program, science program, architectural program. So it's really great. It's amazing. And we just hope that we can make the path for the next generation of women maybe a little bit easier than, we had. So that's basically what I do for a living. You talk about marketing, you think, soup to nuts, right? It's your SEO for your website. It's social media management. We're creating content, we're editing your videos. We're doing the really cool reels. We're, on your LinkedIn, we're managing that. We're doing your paid ads. So it really is just full service marketing. We will go to expo shows for clients. I travel around a lot. I do speaking engagements about digital branding. So that's what I do in real life for a living.
I love it. And then I wanted to, I think I lost my headphones real quick. I always wanted to highlight you and on this because, as we said, we talk a lot about our podcasting, which we
Yeah.
love to do and everything too. But I wanted everyone to know, Nikki, how I know you too, as like I said,
Right.
as marketing and beyond, the sports and the podcasting, which is great too and everything. But beyond that, like you said, you bring out all these attributes and all these qualities and things like that too. And like I know you're big, like you said, big in the women and construction, women in
Yes.
marketing. I know that's huge for you. And I really respect what you do and commend everything that you do beyond just just everything.
Thank you.
So invest in, like I said, I did a podcast last week or 2 weeks ago. We said invest in women's sports media, and I said
Yes.
I'm about to bring Nikki on for construction and marketing too,
Yes.
because it's important. It's super
Yes.
important. And
It is
everything too.
important. And it's a weird, not a weird niche, but it's not a niche that, many marketing companies are in, and forget it for women. There's really no one speaking to that audience. And this is just, hey, marketing 101 tip for anybody out there. If you're growing your podcast or your personal brand, look at your competitors. Who are they speaking to? Who are they not speaking to? And that's your market share. That's where you can come in and talk to that audience. What makes you unique? What makes you different? And that's really the basis of Hello Green Marketing. Anyone can come out here and throw you this big SEO package, but really what we do is create brand awareness through brand authenticity, because we're all different, right? Courtney, how many podcasters are out there? A million,
A
right? But guess
million,
what?
yeah.
There's one Courtney Hardin, and I damn know for sure there's only one Nikki Nick, right? So that is, we speak to different audience. So anyone who's growing a brand, study your competitors. What do they do well? What do they do that you don't like? And who are they ignoring? Because that's where you can come in and start building your niche.
That's very well said, and you're right. It's a space where I know you thrive in, because you said you
Yeah.
share a lot of it on your social media.
Yeah.
You said you go to these expo shows, you do these speaking engagement. If anybody wanted to get into, you said marketing, how would you tell them to approach it? Especially if it's as a young woman. I see you got interns. I saw that on
Yeah.
your, you
Yeah.
got some young interns, newest interns. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
And they got a great role model to do this with, hard worker. So what would you say to someone that wants to get into marketing, even in construction?
Yeah, I would say get in touch with me and I'll help you.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. Yes, that's the first and foremost. Yes.
First and foremost.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
different industry. Listen, we have a robust internship program. We have a great team around us. I understand it's not the sexiest industry. We're not selling, we're not targeting health and beauty and wellness and fitness and food and none of that, right? But this is an industry that literally makes the world go round.
Mhm.
So I would say that anyone who's interested in marketing, be a sponge. Start growing your network, and if you have an existing network, start up leveling that network. Talk to people in the industry. I do it all the time. I meet with other, to me, yes, we have competitors, but really we just help each other, right? That's what makes an industry stronger, when we can kind of all get on the same page. So I would say talk to everyone that you can talk to. Don't be afraid to have a Zoom or be in person. I mean, online is great, but I think some of it gets lost in translation. So
Yeah.
find your people that will support you and help you and guide you, and then find your niche, right? And it may take a little bit. Like I said, I just kind of knew when I went off on my own, and I knew the kind of work that was coming in, and I know my wheelhouse. I'm not trying, I'm not going to market a restaurant. That's not what I do. So
Mhm.
I find your niche, find what you're good at. Maybe you're really great at capturing content, but you don't want to manage social media. But maybe you're really great at going out and taking video and making reels. Maybe that's what you do. And then you work with agencies like us and we contract you out. So I'd say find your niche, find something you love, and just slowly start building upon it. And you're going to have patience, right? It's
Mhm.
business. Even in podcasting, any brand building that you're doing is not going to happen overnight unless you do a stupid TikTok dance. You could always do that too,
You could
but
always get off on that, right?
it's layer by layer, it's brick like brick, just as if you were building a house. That doesn't
Mhm.
happen overnight. These buildings going up everywhere, New Jersey's so congested, that doesn't happen overnight. But reach out. I am always open. You guys can get me on all my social at Nikki Nick 9384. My Hello Green is at Hello Green Marketing. You can DM me there. Happy to help you, or if you're interested in interning or you're looking for a job, just reach out to me. I got a lot of connections. I can toot my own horn there, and
Yeah.
I find someone to shadow. Have somebody take you under their wing and just try it out, and find your niche and find what you love to do.
Yes, that, and following Nikki, and like you said, you active on social media, Twitter,
Yeah.
Instagram, and everything. Like I said, I see you get into it with others and
Yes.
everything too. The trolls and everything. We talked about that before. All
Yeah.
the stuff that you have to go through. People don't even understand and really know. I know, because we've talked about that. But but as you said, you keep going, and you keep doing your thing. You say you're a business woman. You are,
Yeah.
you brand, you digital marketing, you do all these things, content creating, social media management,
Yeah.
podcaster. It's like,
Yeah.
so yeah, hit up Nikki if you really want to get into that. She will definitely help you out. But yeah, I wanted to just give 15, 20 minutes just to highlight you and that industry, what you do, because like I say, doing your own business, it's hard. It is hard. It's hard to, as you said, we're a one man or one woman and one man person that do podcasting sometimes. You know, we got a team, you have a team too,
Yeah.
and everything too, but you still have to, you're branding yourself as well on top of the team. And then we also have other jobs that we got our real jobs too. So
Yeah.
it's tough. But like I said, I see the content, what you do. And like I said, you're out there branding and marketing and it's all important. And people forget how important marketing really is, because you need it for, like I said, just about everything.
Especially now.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Yeah.
Whether you work for a company or not, whether you're an influencer, you just are a brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Real Deal of Courtney Harden, that's a brand. There's no one like you, no one podcasts like you. So you are a brand. Everybody is a brand. And everybody's unique. They've got a different skill set. And it's just, can you capitalize on that? And how do you represent yourself, on social media? Don't forget, whatever you put out there, can't get rid of it. All right. So maybe think about it before you push that send button or that tweet button. Yeah. Maybe
Whoever
just
said it, don't press
think
send.
about it. And for all the younger kids out there, if you think that we don't research you before we hire you, you are sorely mistaken, because I will do a deep dive on my interns or anyone that's interviewing or wanting to come in, because I want to see what you're about. This is a creative agency too, but it's a tough industry. And, I will just say that don't not be yourself, but be careful what you put out there.
What you put out there, exactly. Totally agree. Got some comments here. Nathan says, keep up the amazing work. He says, he said facts of a lot of things you said. Well said. He just said everything you said, just well said. He is covering, actually, he said he's doing an event with Phil Sims.
That's great.
At the Woodbridge Brewing Company.
Nice.
Yeah, so Nathan's out there. He's grinding, doing his thing too. So, but yes, hit up, like I said, follow Nikki, hit her up. Hello Green Marketing.
Yeah.
Is the brand, is the marketing firm, just consulting firm, just like I said, you're always willing and helping somebody. Absolutely. As well. And
if you want to help yourself,
if you want to help yourself, yeah, right. If you want to help yourself, yes. And like I said, you're always at speaking engagements. You always, like I said, you were just in Dallas.
Yes.
So you're across the country. You're traveling.
Yeah.
Doing your own thing. And so if you're out there, follow Hello Green Marketing on Instagram. You got your link tree on there too. So hit Nikki up. Just don't be doing those weird messages, and just don't hit her with all that weirdness and stuff.
Yeah, like that. Don't hit me with the weird, especially on the Hello Green, because I don't run. I run it, but like my team is on that. So
the team is on that. You'll get blocked in a heartbeat and restricted. You know what I'm doing now? I'm blocking them and restricting, because we get so much crap, especially on Instagram. There's so much stuff. It's like, why do people follow me? Like, where I didn't open up anything on there. So I'm real careful with my Instagram now, because they got hacked a year ago.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'm really the Bitcoin, all this stuff. Don't hit me up. I just restrict you and block you quickly now. So I don't want none of that. So don't do no weird stuff on the business page. On the business page, especially. So all right, well, let's get into this sports, because that's what we do.
That's what we do.
And you were just out there covering the Giants and their OTAs. And how's it looking? First, I'm going to ask you, how concerned are you with Saquon Barkley? I know this is voluntary OTAs and everything. I get it, but as a diehard Giants fan as you are, and you cover them and everything, how concerned are you with your best weapon, your best player? And that's what we were talking about before. And I think we were talking about this on the NFC East show you had, and people were like, "Well, such and such is not." We were like, "Wait, hold up! Saquon was the most important player. He's the most important player on that team, offense and just period." But how concerned are you with Saquon Barkley not even engaging in like negotiations and things like that?
I hear things, right? And I'll never throw a source out there under the bus. So I'm not concerned, because either way, I mean, he has to play, right? He's unfortunately on that tag. Of course they want him here. He is a really pivotal piece to the success of this team, especially in the locker room. And I think sometimes that gets lost, right? How important leadership really is, especially in the locker room. And you can apply that to just an organization, just life, just whatever field you're in for work. How important it is to have a really great leader. And I think sometimes that gets overlooked, and I know that team misses him. I know they want him there. From what I understand, both sides are still really far apart, and the Giants just really aren't budging. Look at the running back market right now, right? You just kind of, and that's anything. They're just not. Personally, I don't think they're just not going to budge, right? It just kind of is what it is. I think we're at this like take it or leave it. They have a number, they have a walk away number. Everybody does a negotiation. So it's business. It's not personal. I hate to be like that. It's funny. The longer you podcast, the longer you cover a team and you're there, not that you lose your fandom, but you become much more objective, right? The fan in me wants him there, of course, but I understand the business side of that. Hopefully they'll July 15th, I think, is the the date here. So we got time. We still got about 6 weeks, so a lot can happen. I just have to wonder, does he wish he took that bye week deal that was offered to him? He wants that CMC money. You're just not going to get it. It's not happening.
Yeah, especially like you said. I mean, great points, especially with running backs too these days. It is interesting that running backs are still not valued like a wide receiver, definitely like a quarterback. And you even got defensive backs getting get paid more money and things like that. Defensive end, defensive linemen, and all these things. But running back is still a valuable weapon, but it's because we're going to talk a little fantasy because we we have our own. We're in a fantasy football league together.
Yes.
So the Real Deal podcast. Shout out to Damian Adams too for always running the Real Deal podcast, Real Deal podcast league. Fantasy league, but it's interesting because Saquon had a tremendous year last year.
Yeah,
and he was healthy. He was their weapon. He was Daniel Jones' security blanket and everything else. Because you talked about the receivers now are much better and got more depth and everything too. I got to ask you about DeAndre Hopkins too, because there's that rumor. The Giants, I know that perked your interest. Like, okay, maybe. But now Daniel Jones got his money, so I say pay Saquon because that led the Giants back into relevancy, getting to the second round of the playoffs, which was big. So they got to pay him. So I think they will. I think he either is going to take that that franchise deal that they franchise tagged him, and he'll be there at least another year. Yeah, because it's still a lot of money, but I know he's looking for a long-term deal.
Yeah, exactly. And, you raise a good point. I think some people forget, this is the long-term deal that we're trying to get worked out. Obviously, he's on the tag this year. Listen, it was either him or Jones, and you got to make business decisions. And of course, he's not happy. We knew that going into it. That $16 million, I just, I don't think it was there. He was offered, I believe it was 12 or 13 on the bye week, and now it's 10. So there's been no movement. They are talking, but there's just no movement. So I don't, I'd hate to see him go. I really would. But then, the argument to that is running back shelf life. I get all of that. And I think we all understand that. So just to clarify, he will play on the tag this year. This is the long-term deal that we're hoping can get worked out. John Mara, the Giants owner, has come out and said he wants him here. He wants him to be a Giant for life. So I do hope they can come to some agreement, because what would really suck is if they can't, and then he goes to the Eagles, and then I'm just gonna jump off the bridge. I think. I don't know. If that hasn't happened, where a really good player for the Giants goes over to Philly. So
I'd be shout out to Bradbury for then signing a deal, a 3-year deal for that. But it's gonna be an interesting. Going into the season, I know it was just 100. They were 100 days away, less than 100 days away before the regular NFL regular season.
14 Sundays, I think, right?
Oh,
14, 15, something like that.
Oh my goodness, hey, we're talking football already. It's like wow. And when somebody said that on Twitter, it's like, oh yeah, it's 100 days before the NFL season. Like, Oh yeah, it is. You're right.
It is, but we talk
June.
it all year round. I
We
mean, when
do.
you're podcasting, I mean, it really doesn't stop. Like,
Hmm.
you got the draft, by the time the Super Bowl's over, and then you recap everything, you're getting ready for the draft. There's that little break in March where it's
Hmm.
like, well, we got free agency, but it's at the same time as March Madness, and we're all kind of focused on that. So it really is. People say to me all the time, do you just talk football year round? I mean, you
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
little bit of a lull, but not
Hmm.
not too much.
It's 365. It's 365 days.
Yeah.
It's the number one. What's number one sport, especially in America. On top of that, it's the number one most drama filled. It's like a reality show. You know
It
all
is.
about reality shows,
It is.
so it's a reality competition show
Yeah.
basically because there's those things. There's as you talk about divas in the NFL. We had
Oh,
our
yeah.
list. We did that on your show. We did our
Yep.
list of divas and everything too. But before we get into a diva of Aaron Rodgers, we'll talk about him. I want to talk about D Hop, maybe DeAndre Hopkins, he listed his team that he would love to play for. Some of them make sense, some of them don't. He talked about the Chiefs, he talked to Eagles, he talked to I think he's like looking at quarterbacks that these all-star type quarterbacks that he wants
Right.
the Bills, but the Bills don't have the money. The Eagles, if he does come to the Eagles, he'll be second or third receiver. Does he
Yeah.
want that? I don't know. Depends. Chiefs makes sense. Chiefs make a lot of sense. But even the Chiefs, their Chiefs fans are saying we don't really need him. We want a Super Bowl without him, without not a number one receiver, a legit number one receiver. So, but the Giants now, there's been talks about the Giants. What do you say about? I know there's always these rumors, but what do you say if D Hop does come to the Giants? I know you've been clamoring for, hey, number one receiver. We need
Yeah.
that number receiver. They get him. That catapults the Giants even further. I don't want to see it as an Eagles fan, but what do you say about those rumors of DeAndre Hopkins possibly having some consideration with the Giants?
Yeah. Had gotten into this with, I get DMs all the time. Any movement on Barkley and what's going on with Hopkins. And, I appreciate you guys think that I do have a ton of inside information. I only know what I'm told and what I hear. And,
Yeah,
I see this, I'm at the same press conferences that you guys see on TV. So on the coach speak side, Brian Dable said he and Joe Shane will do their due diligence on anyone that can bring talent to the team. Right. So I would assume that means, of course, like any coach, you're looking into it. Doesn't make sense. My fear is, and I don't think this would happen, but I'm a little like, shell shocked. I don't want a Kenny Galladay situation, right? Where you're like, okay, this guy's supposed to come, he's gonna be great, this, that. And it just didn't pan out and it just didn't work. I don't think that would happen with D Hop, but it needs to make sense. The money needs to make sense. The contract has got to make sense. And if he can contribute, hey, I'm all for it. We need that true number one wide receiver. Our wide receiver room is really stacked right now. What I think might happen is, Waller is going to end up being that like de facto number one. They'll treat him as a number one. But listen, like I said, if D Hop makes sense and he can contribute, hey, I'm all for it. So we'll see. I hope they're doing their due diligence and just be careful. I don't want this like Kenny Galladay situation again.
Yeah, agreed. I think D Hop would. I mean, they did some of the best hands we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Guy catches just about everything. I think he had like a 97% catch radius or something crazy, something high,
crazy.
98. And like, so he catches just about. But then there have been talks that he's been talking back want to go back to Houston,
right?
And now aiming going to Cleveland with Deshaun Watson,
right?
Going back to him. I could see that. I could see the Cleveland aspect of it. The Chiefs do make sense. I don't want to see it because
no more.
Yeah, no, they got it all.
They get enough.
We know how good you are. We know. And yes, you can tell I'm still bitter about that
I
Super Bowl
loss. Too, yeah.
That Super Bowl. So it's funny because I think it was last week. My mother-in-law was in town last week, and we were talking, and she was talking about. She brought up the Super Bowl because she was saying something. Her cutie pies of this is what she said. She said Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, and Steph Curry. Those are my mother was talking to us, and she talked about, oh yeah, Chiefs won the Super Bowl. I'm like, really? I said, you're gonna my house talking the Super Bowl and just joking with
Yeah.
it. And now you're talking about Patrick Mahomes and they're winning and all that. I was like, no,
Yeah.
they ain't gonna have that. Not in my house.
No.
But she said, oh, I can see someone still bitter about that. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
still bitter about the loss, the way they lost. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the rich don't need to get richer. Let's stop.
I'm with you. Can we just put a stop to it? Like, if you won the Super Bowl, if you're the Chiefs, like, just no.
Yeah,
You need to
this
stop for a little bit. Yeah.
Travis Kelsey. I mean, I
Oh,
Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, I do like that. I like them because they're the best. They're the best. Patrick Mahomes is the best player. That's just hands down. Kelsey, best tight end. One of the best players, yes. But I'm so tired of them parading around
I know.
and doing their thing.
I know.
But
like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. But I could see him in Cleveland. I did see that yesterday. Supposedly they're nearing a deal. Listen, I don't know. I saw something that said D-Hop said no way to New England, and then literally 4 hours later there's a story saying he wants to go to New England. So I mean, at some point you just like tune out the noise a little bit.
So we'll see where D-Hop goes. He's such a great talent. Just hopefully he's had injury issues too over the last couple of years. So I mean, even Baltimore, that was a tough, but they got Odell. So get D-Hop over there. I think Lamar Jackson's gonna have a tremendous year, especially if he stays healthy. I know he's hungry. All the chatter. He's got his money now. He's in Baltimore for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So the AFC, like we talked about this before, the AFC is stacked. So
I know,
let's talk about another New York team, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. One of the questions I wanted to ask you was about now him being with the Jets, the Giants. Where's the chatter at with that? Like, as you as a Giants fan covering the Giants, and now Aaron Rodgers, the great quarterback that he is in New York. Whose town is it? Is the I know it's still Giants town, but
the Giants town. Come on.
I know you're gonna say that. I knew it.
It's a Giants town. Although I did jokingly ask, I was like, can I just switch and cover the Jets? Because I want to see how Aaron Rodgers handles the media on a bad game day, because he could be, he's something, it's no secret. Listen, he's one of the greats, and we talked about this on my show on Wednesday. Maybe some of you guys saw the clip, and I love how I lost my own poll. I mean, for those of you that said I was a bigger diva than Aaron Rodgers, I can see who votes what on Instagram. Okay. But I just, his dramatics, like, I'm just not, I just think he's just too much. Now he's a Knicks fan and, whatever. I get it. People are coming at me. Yeah. Well, he's supporting the local team. Yeah, I know. But, it's fraudulent to me. So I actually think that for anybody, these celebrities that just want to show up at like the NBA finals or the Super Bowl, like, where have you been? Don't be a Knicks fan now. What, you got to suffer with the rest of us. No.
The Knicks have been suffering for a while.
Like, well, even for you, these Eagles fans are just like, oh, I became a fan 2 years ago. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Where were you when they had their down years?
Were they down here? Where was you when you wanted Jalen Hurts they wanted to be the starter last year? There was so many that was coming. Because I kept saying it's a wait and see approach with Jalen Hurts. Like, he got weapons now. Let's see what he can do. Now him doing what he did, I didn't foresee that. I don't know who did. I just knew he was going to improve. But for him to be an MVP candidate, I was all for it. Like, but where were the Eagles fans when it's like, oh, let's get rid of Jalen Hurts and let's get Russell Wilson and where was y'all back then? Like, you're right. Like, come on. And now everybody jumping on the Eagles. A lot of people jumping on the Eagles. Now I was like, oh, I'm an Eagles fan. No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
No, you weren't. I'm with you. Carry around literal fan cards like an app. And when did you become a fan? And let me see, because if you just became a fan within 2 years, it's I saw that with the Giants. It got to the playoffs. All of a sudden, I had people coming out of the woodwork like, oh, finally we made it. I said, no. Where have you been for the past 10 years where we sucked?
Right. Exactly. And like you've been talking about, you said you're Daniel Jones. You like Daniel Jones, but a lot of people wanted to get rid of him. But then it's like, there's still question marks, of course. Sure. Like, can he improve? There's still that question, but we'll see. But he's got paid, and now, but like you said, you've been on him when he's bad. You've been on him when he's good. You're just a Giants fan. You're a true Giants fan. All these fans, it's like, oh, I'm a Daniel Jones fan. No, you weren't. You wanted to get rid of him the first year.
First year, they wanted him. They wanted him out, and now and then you hear. I'm glad fans don't run these teams because they're like, don't pay the guy. Well, do you guys not understand market value? Like,
Right.
I
Right.
just, come on. Now his deal looks like a bargain, which
A
we said,
bargain. Yeah.
So it just, I think that was the right number for him. I had said that. I think 40s, that's it. And you walk away after that. And they got it done. And to your point about Lamar, I think for a lot of these guys, a lot of athletes in general, when you kind of get that, like, oh, okay, I got my contract. I know I'm in Baltimore for the next 5 years.
Mhm.
Just going to play better, right? Like all of that is removed and you can focus.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And that's the thing. Like with Daniel Jones, I know, like I said, people argue about the money,
Right.
and everybody's worried about his pockets. Like, don't worry about his pockets. Let him. He got his money because when sports fans and sports pundits, they always talk about, well, we'll get rid of Daniel Jones. Okay, what's the replacement then? Like you gotta have if you're gonna make a take like that, who do you replace him with? The quarterback market. Okay, you get Aaron Rodgers for a year. That's not it. Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson, he wasn't really. They weren't really looking. The Giants weren't looking at him or
No,
anything like that. So, we'll wait till Joe Burrow get. No, he's probably gonna stay. He's gonna stay in
he's going to
Cincinnati.
stay. He's going to
He's gonna
stay.
stay. Justin Herbert's gonna stay in L.A.
Yeah.
It's not. You got to find where it's going to be a replacement. Daniel Jones is your quarterback. He's going to be quarterback for the next 5 years.
Yep.
They gotta deal with it. He's got to deal with it. I think he's going to improve. Just got to get good, as you said before, as you said many times. You just got to get talent around the quarterback.
Yeah.
Once you see the talent around, now if he struggles with talent with him, then you say, okay, we got to look at this and maybe trade him or get rid of him. But let's see what he does with some talent. Got Waller now. He's got a plethora of weapons, plethora of wide receivers, and then if Saquon comes back. Like I said, I got high hopes for the Giants. I do.
Yeah.
I think they finish second in the division, and they'll win 10, 11 games. That's my early prediction, and they'll be right there in the mix again. So
yeah, I think so. I got them at 10 too. My way early prediction is I got them at 10, and they're at 9 last season. I think maybe 1 or 2 more wins in there. It'd be great if the Giants could just even split with Dallas. I mean, like, I'm so tired of, and even maybe just split with the Eagles. I mean, that I've just come to dread a Giants Eagles game. And as big as a fan as I am, I mean, honestly, if it's a primetime game, Giants Eagles, I don't even want to watch most of the time. It's just so bad. So bad. And even when the Eagles had their down years and the Giants were the better team, it was still a bad game, and the Eagles would still find a way to have like a career day against us. Somehow, I can't stand it.
I know you can, and that way we was joking. We were saying when the schedule came out, I was like Eagles Giants Christmas. I'm like, Nikki, you need to come to Philly and let's do this for real. Like
they did us dirty on that. Come on, Christmas.
Yeah. Christmas Day. I was like, and there was talk about either Black Friday because they got a Black Friday game, or it was going to be Christmas. I'm like, ooh, okay, all right, let's see. But Christmas Day, Eagles Giants. I'm like, I'm for it. I'm for it. I know it's usually NBA, but when they say Eagles and Giants, I don't know. I'm gonna get tickets to the game. It's super expensive. I looked at tickets already. It's already expensive, but either I'm gonna be home, more likely be home, or gonna go somewhere and watch it. But more likely to be home. So I'm excited. I mean, it's prime time Christmas. I say, come on, nigga, let's come to Philly. Let's go.
Oh my God, maybe. I just, my sister hosts Christmas, and her and her husband and the kid, they're all Eagles fans, and his family's Eagle fan. So it's just, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And of course, she's like, well, she's like, you have to stay for the game. I'm like, I don't know if I can.
You're like, I'm just gonna come home and just do my own thing.
Yeah,
maybe, and I don't know if I'm gonna even watch it. I know you will, but
I know it's tough to have it on Christmas Day.
Yeah, it is. It's totally
such a high stake game. It could be very high stakes by that point.
At the end of the season. Yeah, it could be very high stakes. On top of that, it's you never know where the division's gonna go around that time. And I'm more interested with that game on Christmas because, like I said, I don't know if we're gonna be here or we're gonna be in upstate New York, because upstate New York, that's Giants the territory. Because we might be back there with my mom and them two up there. So we don't even know where we're going to be around Christmas. So I might not even be here, but more than likely I will be. I'm going to try to stay in Philly for Christmas time, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we got to talk fantasy football. I know it's still early, but this is
Yeah.
something we do on a constant basis. We're in a league together for the last 2 years,
Yeah.
going on 3. I'm sure Dean's going to be starting throwing the invites out. We might
Yep.
have some new people too in our
Ooh.
league. So because I don't know if LaDonna's gonna, I don't know if she's playing because she's not as active on social media as much anymore. And I know she talked about that. A lot of things are going on,
Right.
but who knows? She probably will be. I don't. Ruth might still be in the league.
Okay.
But I know me, you, Damien. I know Mike Patton's coming back, so
Yeah.
he's gonna be back. So we might still have the same cast. We might have 1 or 2 new people. So we'll see what happens there. But how excited are you for this season coming up? And I want to ask you now, is there a clear-cut number 1 pick? Is CMC the number 1? Or I've been reading there's going to be a lot of receivers now. Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp still, Jamar Chase. Are you wide receiver or is it out a running back now? Is it back to now, oh, we got to draft a receiver in the first round?
I'm supposed to give you my strategy when we compete against each other? Like, I see why you do this.
Give me a
know.
little bit. You
Because
can give me just a blanket, like just a statement of just saying,
this
okay.
is, you know what? You know what? I go defense first. This is like, I know you guys want, you want intel. No, my approach is usually just stack it up, wide receiver, running back where I can. I do love Jamar Chase. I rolled with him, for the couple years now. So, if he's there, I'm taking him. I think, you're talking about running back. Yes, of course, CMC. I do think that Nick Chubb is production is going to skyrocket. Kareem Hunt's not there anymore, so I would definitely keep my eye on him. I like him. He's like good, steady production, but I think he's just going to produce even more. Somebody else I do like, you look at the top 1 through 15, any position, wide receiver, running back. I think we can all agree on who they are. But, you start ranking them like 20 to 30, 30 to 40, it starts getting a little, muddy there. So in terms of a wide receiver that I think is going to take a jump forward, Drake London. So, let's not forget you had Marcus Mariota there. In Atlanta, they were pretty run heavy last season. He started to produce more with Ritter there. So I think, I expect Drake London to have a better year. So, don't be, I wouldn't be gun shy on him. I'd feel comfortable with just, knowing that circumstances are different there in Atlanta. So I think he'll have a better year. Nick Chubb's going to produce a little bit more. And this might be a little bit of a risk, but I think that Miles Sanders is going to have a good year in Carolina. I know he could be a little inconsistent, but he is projecting well in the Carolina offense. So keep that in mind as well.
I like that call. I love that call with Miles Sanders. And I think when he was here in Philly, he just didn't. He had a career year this past season, but because they allowed him to run the football, I'm always pushing him. I'm always pushing to say, give him the football, like give him the football. And I know the Eagles, they opened it up a lot last season with the passing game, and then Jalen Hurts took over a lot of the rush. He was another running back on the team.
Yeah.
But Miles Sanders, when he got the ball, he was productive. So, as you said, now in Carolina, he's probably gonna like really skyrocket with his carries and his. I always said that for some reason, Sirianni and Doug Peterson they said they're run heavy, but they were pass heavy too. They like to be run heavy, and they were like the last season they were, but they had Jalen Hurts. They were running with Jalen Hurts most of the time, but it seems like they just didn't trust Miles Sanders for whatever reason, and he said he was inconsistent in some games, but I've always liked the talent. So him going to Carolina is huge, and I think he said that they don't have much. So I think he's gonna produce. He's gonna get a big dose of a lot of carries and maybe some targets out of the backfield too.
Yeah. I like Miles Sanders. And I remember even just watching the Eagles going, why aren't run the ball? Give him the ball. And so listen, every team's got things they can improve on or could have done better. And I think that was one of the sticking points, with Philly was I couldn't understand sometimes why they would go away from the run when it would clearly be working for them.
Yes, and it's but now they have we got so many running backs now. We got
Yeah,
Swift, we got Rashad Penny. So it makes you wonder, like, okay, what direction? I don't know what the offense. They got the Eagles got so much weapons now. It's like, what direction are you going to go? Did Kenneth Gainwell, Boston
right.
Scott? So they got so many running backs, and then it's not going to take away from Jalen Hurts' running ability either. So are they going to be more run heavy, or is it just going to be a balance? You still got Devonta Smith, AJ Brown
Yeah.
on the outside with
All right,
Goddard.
Chiefs light over here. God, no more
With
talent
Goddard.
for you guys either.
So it makes you wonder, like, where they're going to go with it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do like your call on that. So, but it's interesting now. Like it was the fantasy was like running back was back to pick a running back first round. But there's so much talent at wide receiver.
Yeah.
I'm seeing now receivers in early mock drafts going number one. It's almost like when Antonio Brown was the clear cut number one back in the day when he was at Pittsburgh, and the running back was now declining, the running back position. It seems like it's going that way again. So maybe receiver is the way to go. I mean, we'll see who those top 5 picks. 3 of them might be wide receivers now, and it might not be all running backs.
Do you think June is too early? Because I've seen the mock drafts too. I'm not ready for that yet.
Me either.
Not yet. Not ready for it yet. I'm not ready for the stress yet. Maybe July, I'm going to think of start doing that. When we're really in full swing. But give us June to kind of like, still have a little bit of fun with this stuff.
Yes,
yes. Get all serious about
well, look, I named that. You can see I named our podcast Shenanigans with Nikki. So that's what we're doing, fantasy shenanigans right now.
Shenanigans,
yeah, that's what it is. But it's interesting because a lot of people are doing mock drafts now, and they're talking about it. Speaking of that, I was going to ask you, are you going to the Fantasy Football Expo? It's in Ohio. I've already got my tickets. I'm going to be covering. I'm doing some things there.
Nice.
But I'm very, very excited. But it's in August. So I was going to ask, are you going? Are you thought about going or anything like that?
Yeah, I get asked all the time. I got asked last year. People are there. Are you here? So I'm if I can make it work with my work schedule, yes, I would like to go and get there. And
if you're there, you know how we're gonna do.
I know. Live from the Fantasy Expo.
Yeah, live from the Fantasy Expo. Yes, I already got my tickets. I've already got my tickets. I got my flight, got my hotel. So I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm going all 3 days. It's August 11th to the 13th. And so I'll be there that Friday and then leaving on that Monday. So yeah, I'm there.
Okay, good. All right. I might be able to make that work.
Yeah, even if it's just like I said, the weekend. So St. Canton, Ohio, the Hall of Fame. So yeah, I've always wanted to go, and I finally had a chance. My wife was like, "You should go. Definitely should go." She's not coming. And she said you should definitely go.
No, because I'm sure she wants 4 days. Maybe she want to get her nails done, get a pedicure.
She already got plans. Already.
I'm sure she does. Get the girls over.
Yeah. Already got plans, doing some things with the girls.
Yeah, so that's how it is. It's like go, honey, go. Yeah, sure,
go. Go right ahead. As she said, hey, I'll book the ticket for you for the flight. She already did that.
I'll book the ticket for it. Go right ahead. Go. Yeah.
She booked the flight and the hotel already.
She said, get out for 4 days, morning, go.
But I'm excited to go just to see, kind of just to see what it's like, and know so many people and things like that. Get a few interviews, just and have some fun with it. And I know they're gonna have a panel, women's. I did it last year, but they're gonna do a women's and fantasy football. I might have another one, so be ready. I know I've already got you booked for it already. So they're gonna do one there too. So I'm excited to see how that is too. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. But if you definitely go, let me know, and
I will.
We'll definitely link up, of course.
Yeah, of course,
and everything too. So, Nikki, I think that's all I had. But really, really appreciate you on this Saturday. Yeah. What shenanigans are you getting into on this Saturday?
So big shenanigans. I gotta run to the food store. I gotta run to Target. I gotta do a Costco run. I gotta catch up on a little bit of work, but Yeah, nothing crazy. Just, like I said, training camp starts end of July, and then we're really full swing, and our Sundays are packed. And,
Yep.
it becomes, my show's on Wednesday. We got Giants on Monday. We got picks due. We got bets due. So, the majority of the year becomes very scheduled for the weekend. So, I just kind of take this off season and just kind of, my new desk came. I kind of get that situated upstairs, and just, because you can't, once training camp starts, I mean, just forget it. That's it. And
that's it.
So I got like 4 or 5 weeks, and plus, my real job on top of it. So I just try to get as much headway done as I can these weekends in the summer, before our football season starts.
Agreed. 100% agreed. You're right. It's like, I know, because my wife was talking about doing something in our front porch for the house. And she's like, we just got to take a project and try to do this for the next 5 weeks. And I'm like, that's great. Because this weekend I was going to do something. I'm like, you know what? I did a bunch of stuff the last couple of weekends. I'm going to chill today and tomorrow and do nothing. Enjoy the day, watch a little TV.
There you go.
Maybe get outside a little bit just to sit out there and kind of enjoy it, because it's nice out here today. It was so hot yesterday. Oh my goodness, 90 degrees yesterday. I'm like,
I know. I ran though. I did go run.
Yeah, I saw you. Yeah, I saw that. It's like
nobody's at the park, because normally it's like strollers and kids and skateboards and rollerblades and 18 dogs and family reunions. And so when it's hot, no one's there.
No one's there. Yeah. So I saw the Spider-Verse yesterday. So we did see that. That was so good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was really, really good. And this weekend, chill. It's a chill time. So
are you guys watching anything? Did you start anything? We just started The Dropout, the Elizabeth Holmes story on Hulu. Man, what a piece of work she is.
No, I haven't seen. I mean, I think we're starting Manifest. The last season of Manifest just.
Oh, that's right. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So I'll watch that. That'll probably be it for now. That's the only thing. I think that just dropped on the 1st. So watch the last season of that, and other than that, that's it so far. Yeah, nothing else. And they said football coming up, and NBA Finals is watching that. That's about it as of right now. So, more shows will be coming up. I'll watch all the MTV challenges and all those.
Watch you?
Yes, I do.
You watch the challenges? That's funny.
Yeah, I watch all the challenges, all the MTV, and I just watched Survivor. I'm a big Survivor fan. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Would you ever do Survivor?
I would like to. People have been saying I should do it. Yeah, the only thing for me would be the swimming, because I'm not that great of a swimmer. So I would have to take swimming lessons, and then I think I would do. I don't know how good I would do, but I would love to do Survivor. Would you do Survivor?
Survivor, no, but I would do Real Housewives.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. I know Real Housewives. That's right up your alley. So.
Survivor, no way, because I don't. Listen, I don't really like to get my hair wet or get dirty or anything like that. That's like the only thing that stopped me from being a flight attendant was the fact that you have to like get in the water and do oh God. Other than that, I probably would have done that for a living.
Yeah, right. But a flight attendant, yeah, right. But Survivor, yes, I was Survivor in MTV challenges. We've been watching those the last couple of years. When it comes to reality TV, but that's about it. I don't get into Big Brother. I used to watch Big Brother, but not anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't do too much. What about Naked and Afraid? We'll watch that
sometimes. No, can't do that. No, can't do those. I used to watch Housewives of Atlanta, as you know, but I've been watching Housewives in years. So, but yeah, just Survivor and TV Challenge is usually where my reality TV stops there.
That's it.
So, but Nikki, enjoy the weekend. I always appreciate you jumping on and doing this. We always have a lot of fun, a lot of different things we get into and everything. But before you go, let everyone know where they can follow you, find the Giants Rush, where they can actually, like I said, you've been out and about doing a lot of different things, but where they can meet you, maybe meet and greet type of thing. But let everyone know where they can follow you on social media.
Yeah. At Nikki Nick 9384, Twitter, Instagram. You guys can find me on Facebook, TikTok, all social media platforms. Giants Rush is Monday at 8:00, and my show Rush Hour. We go around the league, 60 minutes or less, bring you fantasy football, league news, and best bets. Obviously, when we're in season. Somebody said to me, "You didn't have any best bets," but that's because football season's not in yet. So you gotta wait for that. In the meantime, we've been doing these really great division-wide panels, which has been fantastic. Just, getting other podcasters on, and as much as I love you all, nobody has beat the NFC East panel yet. We did massive views, so we're gonna have to get these guys, Courtney back on, and the rest of our panel. We had Rio on, and DMV fanatic, who said the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl, as if like there was no other option for Cowboy fans.
How about 10 wins? How about just 10 wins?
Yeah, how about that? Like, no, it was like, oh, of course we're winning the Super Bowl. I mean, guys, some of you are just
yeah.
But you can find me on all platforms. Meet and greet. Kind of let you know, Rush Crew's out and about. I'm always out and about. It was funny. I was in Dallas, and someone recognized me as the Giants girl. So
okay.
That was interesting. I try to just be, I try not to let the work and the sports overlap a little, even though it does. And it was just funny because they were like, "Oh my God, you guys don't know what a big deal is standing here." I'm like, no.
They're like, just my personal and my
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm usually around. If you guys are in the Red Bank area, probably see me out and around town and stuff. But if I can make it to the Fantasy Expo, Courtney, I'll let you know first, and then I'll let you guys know. So maybe we can all meet up together. And catch me on Wednesday nights, 8:00, live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. And just like you, we're everywhere in terms of audio, Spotify, Apple, what is it? Apple Podcasts. I was gonna say Apple iPods. No, because I need new earpods. That's why. But yeah, that's it. I'm just doing my thing, and I'll be covering training camp again for the Giants. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter for all your Giants content.
All the Giants updates, all the content. Nikki's one of the best. So thank you again, Nikki. I really appreciate it. Enjoy it, and enjoy the weekend. And thank you for your time on this. And as I said, we'll get into some more shenanigans very soon. So
yes,
enjoy it, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
All
Bye.
Right. Peace, y'all. All right, that's a wrap. Thank you to Nikki G. Nikki Gist, one of the best. He covers the Giants, fantasy football, all those things. We're like I said, we're in the Real Deal podcast, fantasy football league. So we do live drafts. That's coming up probably in August, September, right before the season. Always have good fun there as well. So thank you to Nikki. Giants Rush in the New York Giants training camp. She's right there doing her thing. So that's a wrap for the show. I want to thank everyone that tuned in, that subscribe to the network, subscribe to BS3 Network as well, BS3TVLive.com, the Roku, BS3 TV Roku app. Download it and get onto the network. We got shows for everybody, everybody. Not just sports, comedy, movie and TV reviews, I think we got a cooking show. Then we got a travel show there as well. So we got a little bit of everything for just about everyone. So BS3Network.com, BS3TVLive.com. Until next time, thank you once again. Follow at Get the Real Deal. You see it there on the screen. Peace. Peace to everyone. And God bless. See you on the next one.